All right, what's going on, guys? Introduce Shredder here, back with a what is this?
I got 10th place. My name is Andrew Johnson. I got 10th place at the Kentucky Regional yesterday. For the band list of June 2023. It was only 8 rounds. It was, I think, 203 people. I was on Swordsoul and I went X2. It was actually a pretty fun event. We drove 5 hours there, played in the event.
I obviously do.
And after we ate, we then drove 5 hours back to Cleveland. So, that was fun. But we had a good time. It was me, Tyler, and Noah. We all three of us played. Noah dropped because he said he didn't really feel like playing, and I was like, okay, that's cool. And then Tyler, he also got his invite. He got 24th. He was on Branded. But but I got 10th. Yeah, and like I said, I was on Swordsoul, and it was a fun event. My matchups were round 1, I won 2-0 against Punk Cashiera. Round 2, I won 2-1 against Branded. Round 3, I won 2-0 against Pure Cash. Round 4, I won 2-1 against Pendulum. Right. Get me started on the Pendulum guy. Round 5, I won 2-1 against Adventure Sprite. Round 6, I lost 2-0 to RNG the deck. To Tier Element. Round 7, I beat Flu, and then round 8, I lost to RNG Sack the deck. Tier Element again. But aside from that, it was a good event. So we're gonna do main deck first. Let's go and start off with 3 Incredible Ecclesia. You know what this card does. It is a starter. It is an extender. It summons Sword out the deck.
Not even Starlight.
You right, because I'm poor. The deck's still ass. That's why it's ultra. We play Moi. You know what this card does. This card still sucks, but it's still the best card in your deck because, it can draw 1.
Is it Road?
It is not Rhoda because it's Worms, and Rhoda is for Warriors. We play Long One. This is Reject Cure Ash because this deck is still worse than Tri Brigade. But it burns you for 12 when it makes a Synchro monster. You play 2 Taie. It does nothing on its own, but when you do have something in the grave, it's arguably the best one because you can make one of the only good cards in your deck, which is Baxia, because Baxia is not a fair card.
That's a good way to say it.
Close enough, that card's broken too. So that's it for the Swordsoul-ish monsters. We play the Tenyi package, of course. The 3 Ashuna. This is the best Tenyi monster because you get the special summon from the deck. You know what it does. The only bad part about it is that it locks you into worms, but because you play a worm deck, it's not really a downside. This is a recycler. When you banish your Tenyis, when you banish all Taie, you get to get them back by banishing this. And it's a level 1 tuner, which helps for ding long plays.
Ding dong.
You play 2 for shooter. Being able to out almost any floodgate and any problematic monster is good.
Can't move.
Being able to bounce it back to the hand, good. You play this as a level 4, and this came up one time. I was able to crack the Sprite board by running my monk into. I think I ran that monk into their token, and I banished this to bait the toad out, and I was able to play the game from there. I did play the Yang Zing package, but I only played 2 of the Yang Zing monsters, being BN and Chi Wen. You play these 2 because in theory, you would have the Chi Wen engrave, and then when you activated the trap card, which I'll show you later, you would summon this. Chi Wen would special summon itself from grave, and then you would quick sync it to Herald of the Arclight. But that's it for the worm monsters. I only played 3 monster hand traps, being Ash Blossom. This card is actually terrible. This is a terrible card, but because Brandon is in the format and Ashing Brandon Fusion is still the best play against branded, you still have to play it. For the spells, we played 3 Swordsoul Emergence. Roto for worm monsters, but not as broken because it's hard once per turn.
Yeah. Cool.
We played Swordsoul Sacred Summit. Monster Reborn for Swordsoul and worm monsters. I OTK somebody with this one time by just being able to bring back the Moi and just being able to attack direct when I didn't actually have a way to OTK. But because I was able to bring a monster back for free, I was just able to. So, still a good card. 2 Heavenly Dragon Circle. This helps you dodge Imperm and Veiler. It can, in theory, can help you dodge stuff like Sullic and things like that. But I would have to see it in order for it, to do what it's supposed to do. Pot of Desires. Draw 2 cards. Use this as ash bait to make sure that your emergence goes off. And we play 2 Tactics Thrust. If you've noticed that this is the first good card in my main deck that I got to, because this card is broken, and it allows you to get into this card Tactics. It allows you to get into Desires. It allows you to get into Emergence. It allows you to get into the Feather Duster that I was main decking. And we played the 1-of Feather Duster just in case we ran into back row, stuff like Dynamorphia, Labyrinth, any other like rogue decks that people were playing. Sometimes Sky Striker, things like that. But yeah, so this I played 2 because I only had access to 2. But if I had access to 3, I would have played 3. But Tactics, because we punish people for hand traps, I probably would have played 2. That's actually one thing I would have changed. I would have tried to find room to play 2 of this. And I would have kept the Duster in because it's Harpy's Feather Duster and we don't like back row. For the traps, Soul Blackout. Being able to pop 2 cards is good. Being able to banish it to make a token is still good. 9 Pillars, Counter Trap, negates anything, searchable off dang long. And then 3 Imperm, best hand trap in the format is Veiler that can play under Shifter and it doesn't activate Thruster Tactics. So play them. That's it for the main board. It was 42 cards. If anything I would change, I would take out maybe 1 Ecclesia and try to play a second Tactics. That's about the only thing I would change, maybe. And the Feather Duster is a flex spot. There we go for the extra deck next. 2 tokens, because you really only need 2 tokens. You play Herald of the Arclight for the Danglong combo. You play Herald of the Arclight for the Danglong combo. You play Danglong because the card itself is broken. The cards around it are ass. The Yangzing cards are still trash in 2023. They were bad in 2025, and they got even worse in 2023. But Danglong itself, either way.
In the future.
2025.
Hey, listen, it was ass in 2023, it's ass in 2025, it's just ass. But the card itself is good. Being able to search and Foolish Burial and summon whenever it goes to the grave is still good. So, I like it. And then we have the other ones. We got Yazi. I never summoned it, but you still need it because it can't be targeted. You can pop you can target, pop, and you can summon from the deck. So this card is good. This card, again, I never made it, but you still need to make this. This is still a good card in theory. I just never saw the need to make it. I mostly made these 2. I mostly made these 2 Chi-Shao. Being able to search or banish was good. Plus the Imperm effect was good. So we play both of those. You know what those do. This is the best card in your extra deck. Unfortunately, it targets. But aside from that, being able to spin back into the deck and then pop a card to special summon from the grave is the best. This makes this the best card in your extra deck. and nothing about it is a hard once per turn. So you can just if you make another one, you can just do it again. Chow Fang. This card is ass. I would not play this. I never made it. Never saw the chance to make it. Never saw the need to make it at all. For the 10s, I made Tenyi. This is your OTK enabler. You never summon this turn 1. You always summon this turn like 3 and 4, because by the time you have a lot of cards banished, and you can OTK people on, and you can just OTK people. It's easy to get this card up to 5K. I played Sinister. I didn't feel the need to. I didn't make Sinister as much this format as I would have any other format, mainly because I was scared of Nib, so I mainly went for Baron. But if I didn't feel Baron was in the format, I would have made this first. Being able to burn twice, you know, for 1200 is still good. Plus, it has a fair Hyper Librarian effect, so it's a good card. It's just I didn't make it this tournament because I was trying to play around Nib most of the tournament. And then Baron, you know what Baron does. If you play a combo deck, your deck probably plays Baron, and it's a good card. And no, Tall Mike, this card is not that broken that it needs to be banned. You don't know what you're talking about.
Which card, Baron?
Baron.
That's
Bad take. We played 2 Monk. I would play 3, but last minute I decided to play Chow Fang instead of the 3rd Monk. That was a mistake, and this one I would not make again if I was to ever play this deck again. I would 100% play the 3rd Monk. The 3rd Monk came up way too often. We played Shaman of the Tenyi. Never made it. You still keep it in there because it does come up sometimes. For the sideboard, I played 2 Santa Claus. I played 2 Santa Claus, Kaiju Light card, and that's it. I just use it as a Kaiju. I played 3 Bell. This card was trash. I would not play this again. I would have just played 3 Bestials instead. I saw no purpose to play this card at all in the tournament. So I would make this either 2 Magnum Moots and a Druid Worm. We played 3 Anti-Spell Fragrance. Best side deck card. Best card in the side deck. It won me game 3 against the Pendulum player. And it was just the best card in the side deck. If your deck can play Anti-Spell, play Anti-Spell.
Hey, hater.
I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry.
Play my dragons and people.
Sure.
Nah. 3 evenly matched.
Sure.
Best board breaker. Unless you're playing against Flu, because Konami doesn't know. Because Konami R&D doesn't know how to read and how the English language works. But evenly matched. It's the best board breaker. Yeah, evenly matched is the best board breaker. There aren't that many negates, and in most cases there's only 1. So if you bait the 1 negate, you can just activate evenly, and then it clears almost any board in the format. And then we play 2 Lightning Storm, because fuck back row, and
Say one more time, Brother John.
hashtag fuck back row, and it can also act as 2 Regekis if your opponent is bad and leave their monsters in attack mode.
Yeah.
And speaking of Regeki, we played 2 Regeki
Hey.
because fuck your front row.
Oh, not my friend.
So, shoutouts. There's about to be a lot of them. First of all, I would like to shout out Chris from Rogues Den because he let me borrow like 90% of the deck.
Good.
I would like to shout out Will because he let me borrow the best card in my deck, which was Talents. But that too, Thrust. I would like to shout out the locals that I mostly attend, which is Rogues Den. I would like to shout out the locals that I do go to, that I'm at now, which is Richard Carson Comics and Mayfield / Lyndhurst. I would like to shout out the guy behind the the guy behind the camera, Kamal. I'd like to shout out Vincent, Jeremy, Darion, Beckles, Williams, Cook.
Don't.
I will zoom in on your face.
What did you add?
Cook.
The boys.
The boys. There's a lot of them. Spencer, Khalid, Omar, Tall Mike, Tyler, Noah, Nevin, Royster. A lot of people.
A lot of people.
Everybody at locals. If I didn't mention you by name, it doesn't mean I don't love you. It just means that I have bad memory. And I would also like to shout out my wife because she loves me enough to allow me to be who I am and to play the game that I love. So thank you, and I love you. And hopefully I'll see you after next week after I attempt to top Indy.
He's going to Nats, right?
Yeah,
Ha! Ha! Ha!
bring him home, church.
Ha!
All right, thanks, Justin. We'll see.
Thanks. See ya.